And good morning. Welcome to Wednesday. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. We begin this adventure today. Temperature's kind of been up and down this morning. When I got here, I think it was around 53. We've now dropped to 49. How's your front porch thermometer? We should be warm today, though, before it's over. One of the warmest days we've had is we head for a high 86 and sunshine this afternoon. We'll get into the rain chances, and it ain't looking good. We've got that forecast up and coming in a few moments. Vicki, good morning. Lamar is up, Kemper County. Debbie, also Lolita, good to see you. Teresa, Jeff is up. So many of us as we get ready for this special guest this morning. We'll find out what's going on. Several things out to our east and the southeast area. The Girl Scouts, the land. A little change coming on that. Also, Becky will be in with us this morning beginning at 7 to talk about the holiday extravaganza this weekend out at the Lauderdale County Agri Center. It's always a big, big turnout for that. We'll get the insight from Becky of everything that's going on with that also. I've got all these headlines that are shaping America. Some things disturb us. We'll talk about those, what you need to know of what's happening in America and all around us. We'll be back with all of that. Right now we head to Collinsville. Today's Wednesday, as I said. Church services tonight. It all begins. Let's go see Brother Ben. Where is Brother Ben?
Children are one of God's greatest gifts to us. Now, my wife and I, we've been blessed with 5. And look, it's not easy raising kids, but it's blessed. And don't you ever let the world tell you differently. Now, one of the reasons that children are so much work is that they don't come pre-trained. Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, how easy would it be if they just came out of the womb obeying and saying yes, sir, and no, ma'am, and keeping their toys picked up, never hitting their brother, never biting that kid on the playground? Well, we can dream, but that's not reality. No, we have to train them, right? We have to teach them, encourage them. We have to correct them. We have to discipline them. And you have to do it over and over again. But there's a principle and a promise in Scripture that gives us great hope. Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he's old, he'll not depart from it. So, beloved, yes, it's hard when they're little, but if you'll make a concerted effort to train them right, to train them in goodness and godliness, it gets easier. And even if they go through a bit of a rebellious phase in their latter teens and early 20s, there's an excellent chance they'll come back to their senses and come back around to that goodness and godliness you trained them in. Look, I know it's hard, but even when they are old and you're dead and gone, that training will still be bearing fruit. So parents, do the hard work with your children now for a little while, and you'll be blessed later for a long while. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. Ruth said she's got 48 on that front porch thermometer. I'm telling you, it's nippy outside. Cooler in Philadelphia. I see several people commenting on those areas there. Diane, good morning to you. Coffee is hot, temp is cool. I'm at home. Life is good. That's not a bad comment there, Bob, as we all should be thankful for where we are. I had to, at one time in my life, travel to make a living. It was the worst experience I've ever encountered. Now, there are, again, I don't knock anyone who does that. There's certain people that I work with who loved it, the life on the road. I am not that guy. Kind of like my house and being around my family. I don't like being away. I like to be close to those that I love. Some love the road. It's just not for me. And God bless y'all that have to do that. Sometimes you're given a situation in life to where you have no choice. And that's where I was at that point in time in my life. You got to do what you got to do. Doesn't mean you got to like it, does it? Here's something that is, I hope, turns out good. Chick-fil-A is releasing its own entertainment app, family-friendly shows and podcasts. That's pretty good. I think we all respect Chick-fil-A for what they do. They close on Sundays and have godly beliefs, so we expect that to be a good app. We'll find out more about that as information starts trickling out about that. Do y'all remember the name Susan Smith? The best I can remember, this was in the early 90s. She was accused of drowning her boys. You remember that? Drove them off in the car and then stood and acted like she didn't know what happened. She's up for parole after 30 years. Should she? I don't think so, but we'll see what happens to this. It's in South Carolina, if y'all remember that. It was 1995 as I look back here. I knew it was the 90s. I was thinking 93 in my head, but it was 95. Susan Smith drowned those boys in that car. Can you imagine? Up for parole after all those years. As often as we talk about some subjects that rattle our cages of the belief that our country was built on, we know that America was built upon faith, God, country. A judge is going to hear arguments to block Louisiana's 10 Commandments display in schools. As I say that, we often talk about God here. It is becoming a thing of the past. Y'all know that as well as I do. For the first time in American history, I think we're at 47% that believe in God now. Y'all think about that. What does the next 20 years hold, or maybe the next 5 to 10? I heard Bernie Sanders a few years ago making comments. I thought there's no way in this world that our country would ever think that way. It is the norm now. It is moving faster than I estimate, I believe. Here's a headline for us this morning. Former Abercrombie & Fitch CEO Mike Jeffries has been arrested on sex trafficking charges. Have y'all heard that? This could go deeper than we think. That's pretty serious. A CEO. Rattles my world. Here's another thing, because as to where I go vote, there's a lot of middle America like I am. You go vote at a church, you go vote at a volunteer fire department, there's always somebody you know there. Other parts of America on voting day come November, you'll have drones in the air, you'll have bulletproof vests watching these voting polls of people that want to do harm to Americans. Seriously, that's out there. Now, it's not in our little world. It can happen anywhere. But we have security being tightened all across America as we get ready for this, that people would want to do harm to others. That's what's shaking America this morning on that front. I don't know how I'll have to ask Odie later. What was it in Home Alone? What do they call themselves? The water leak bandit? What were they? The water bandits or something like that? Where they left their trademark?
Something like that.
I don't know how this guy got his nickname, but he's going to jail for 13 years. Colorado's where it is, and he's nicknamed the Penguin Bandit.
Probably named himself.
I just think in jail that just would be the toughest name. Look, here comes the Penguin.
Come here, Penguin.
Just me thinking. I think there's other things that would have been tougher out there. But he's headed off to jail for 13 years. Who knows? He may get parole next week. Depends upon who the judge is overseeing things.
That's a heck of a movie. Is he that tight?
Who's that? The Penguin?
That fella, yeah. Was he
Joe-
so tight he didn't make any money off of that movie?
Which movie?
Never mind. Never mind.
Do what now? No, yeah, it was totally. I was just saying I done a comparison there to Home Alone.
I'm up with you. I'm slow.
Odie lost me there. This guy is big in America. He does what I do on a humongous level. Joe Rogan. Anybody ever heard of him? At one time, I'd heard he'd never let him on. Now he is. Trump shall be a guest on the Joe Rogan podcast. Now, is he pro, against, or will he just interview? I don't know, but look for that to come. It's big because he does reach so many people in America. That's a big deal for somebody to be on there. We wish them luck. We see someone else has been arrested for January 6th. How many years ago that been? 4? Going on 4 years? They got somebody now for building a billboard. They're going to prison. I'll leave it at that. You do the figuring on that. Meta is banning some accounts, which is also known as Facebook. I'll call this people that are tracking jets. And I can see this to where, what is it, Flight Aware, that you can watch where airplanes are. If you've got a loved one, you can watch them. It was people that were tracking the private jets of Trump, Musk, and Zuckerberg and posting it online to show you where they were. They're getting rid of those accounts. You can't do that anymore. And most likely, because you can file, if you own an airplane, you can file to have it to where your plane is not tracked publicly. I'm shocked that hasn't already been done by those folks, unless there's a back door that I'm not aware of. Amazon, they're getting ready to shut some form of service. It will be the daily delivery to where you get it day of. It's about 300 people that will be affected by this. Most will be transferred to another division. Very few will be laid off, but it's just not working. They had this set up in malls to where if you come in and bought something, they could deliver it to your house in the first day. It was kind of a trial thing. It ain't working. They're readjusting, as Sears and Roebuck should have with the catalog. Whoops, did I say that out loud? This guy's going to be in trouble. Akron, Ohio. I've been through there. I think most of us have heard of Akron. They talk a little different than us Southerners. Nice folks. Spent some time with them. We have a school resource officer who is going to have charges against him. He's put on administrative leave at this point. They had kids that were fighting. So now, again, we hadn't seen all the video footage. Sometimes these kids are as big as you and I. They look 30. Okay, maybe they've been in the 12th grade for 12 years. But after placed in handcuffs, he hit him in the head. They're not going to allow that. School resource officer, an investigation has gone into effect on that. Making history, you have to be proud for someone. I'm not a big NBA basketball player, but LeBron James. This is kind of cool. Think about this. You and your son, the first people ever to play in the NBA at the same time together. That's good. They made history. Proud for them. I would say as a father, you got to be grinning ear to ear over something like that. It's very seldom something like that happens. Odie, I'm afraid we've got another situation coming to the clowns of America.
I resemble that remark.
Odie at one time was a clown. We had someone try to break into a home in Colorado. As the clown broke in the home, he was dressed as a clown. It was an 8-year-old girl that was inside the home, scared to death. The clown has been arrested.
That still don't help that little girl. She'll never look at a clown the same way again.
No, she'll never look at the clown the same way again. But will it spread across America and clowns be banned again? I'm telling you, they're trying to put the clown out of work.
And we're just trying to have
It's
fun.
not the clown industry. It's the clown that was in the clown outfit. Does that make sense? I know that sounded real weird, but common sense, common sense. I've just never been scared of a clown. I watched, what was it? Supernatural. I don't know if y'all remember that show with the Winchester boys, where they had the episode of the clown. If you ever had a fear, they done an episode on it. It was, there's people that's really scared of them. You ever looked in the mirror and scared yourself? Twice, okay. A woman, this is just, y'all think about this. You're out fooling around. State parks have a bunch of rocks. Maybe you've been to the Smoky Mountain. Maybe you're off by yourself. You drop your phone, you go down to get it, and what happens? You're trapped. 7 hours she lay there hung in the rocks. Couldn't reach her cell phone to call anybody. Somebody eventually found her. And I get it. They're $1,000 now. Do y'all remember the good old days when cell phones just started out and they gave you one to use their service? Y'all remember that? If you complain, you go, you make me mad, I'll go over here and I'll get a new phone. Yeah, they tell you to go now because Americans will spend that. Some of them are even $1,200 plus. I try to get the best of mine after I drop it 6 to 7 times and it can't be repaired anymore. Then I go get a new one. I am not that guy that's got to have the latest technology. Sometimes, like my '04 vehicle, I'm a little behind on getting any technology. Still hurts my shoulder to try to back out from the old courthouses, those slanted parking places. And it's always a van that's going to park behind you. And you've got to inch. First, first you're going to get your trailer hitch out in the road. And then you inch just a little bit more. Wait for that sound of, we all know that. It's tougher than you think. Parallel parking, I saw someone attempt that downtown the other day. That was about 8 minutes on the side of the road where they just couldn't quite. What? Think about it, what I'm talking. Y'all know you don't even have to take a driver's test anymore.
Try and parallel park your Lincoln. There is nowhere to fit.
That Lincoln will not fit there. And one of the worst places, if you've ever, no matter where you're watching from, if you've ever visited Meridian, Mississippi, as you're coming through here, the Temple Theater sits there. You go and you can take a right and everything goes kind of one lane to the right. If you keep going forward toward 22nd Avenue, the street really narrows and everybody that's got a F-250 hangs out in the middle of the road. And it's really one lane traffic through there when you get down to it with those parking places. I dodge people all the time through there. Just saying. We never did get the guy that retired that done the parking tickets. He's gone, isn't he? Randy retired. We don't have a tire marker anymore, do we?
think so.
Yeah, I don't think we do.
Nobody's as dedicated as
He was dedicated. Let me tell you, you leave your car there more than 20. He was on it. You had a chalk mark. He was coming back. The good old days. He was a nice guy, a real nice guy. We miss him. We really do. I don't want to offend anybody on this. I want to say this correctly, and I don't understand it as I bring this up. As we go to Pennsylvania, as each day new laws are made into the United States, new holidays are created. They're making a state holiday in Pennsylvania. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not running down anybody's past where they came from. But when you come to America, you become a part of America. And you adjust to American holidays, things that our country did. And again, I'm not running anyone down. I think anybody should celebrate their heritage. But more and more across America, I see people changing the holidays to make it fit other countries. Pretty soon, America is not going to be America anymore. As we see, Columbus Day is disappearing. Well, that's going away. And I can't even pronounce this correctly, so I'll try to explain it. Pennsylvania now has Diwali Day, Diwali. Anybody ever heard of that? It was new to me, and I read on this, and this is basically an Asian holiday. And on Monday, he signed it into law, Bill 402, officially recognizing Diwali as a state holiday in Pennsylvania. It is a festival of lights, one of the most popular holidays in South Asian culture. The 5-day festival celebrates light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. And again, I'm not running any other country down, but yeah, I will leave it at that. You know, that's Pennsylvania's where that's going on there. We lose someone in the news this morning who was a baseball player. Any baseball fans out there? Former Dodgers pitcher, and I may mispronounce his name, but I think it's Fernando Valenzuela. 63 has passed away. If you were a big baseball player, you know probably how to pronounce that and how I got that wrong. Everybody is fighting for the Latino vote right now. It's huge in America, the Latino votes. Each side is trying to offer something for the other one. What is going to happen? What are we, 3 weeks out now from the election? It's getting very close. Every vote will count. That is for sure. We'll see who sides with who. And it doesn't matter where you look. Each side is going to claim to be ahead in the polls. Every 10 minutes I see a different poll with a different result. My answer is I don't think we can believe any of them. I really don't. I don't know of one true thing. You know, you got the guy that is supposedly forecasted the big win for the last 7-8 years since 1980. I don't trust him either. I think there's a lot of influence into what happens there. A ball, baseball. Talk about things that sell. And again, I'm really going to slaughter this name. I cannot. Baseball player. His name is Saushi Ahonti. Did I get that right? That ball has sold his 50th home run for $4.3 million at auction. About $4.3 million. Becky, you got anything like that for sale this week? Yeah, she's going to sell something. We'll find out from her what's coming up with that. We see this, and I don't understand it. I've seen it in the news, and I'm sure each of you have. And I really feel that they wouldn't have done this if it was illegal, because they probably put lawyers on this before they began. Elon Musk is who I'm talking about. Y'all seen that $1 million giveaway that he's been doing? I'm sure he had a team of lawyers research this before they began it, but we do see a mounting call for other people to have this investigated. I think something would have already been done if it was illegal. He found a loophole, and he's taking advantage of it. I'm sure that's the way that's happening. Up and coming, we got your forecast. Don't rush off. We'll have that next as we begin this day together.
When I was elected to the state Senate 9 years ago, my goal was to bring a new generation of conservative leadership to the Capitol to get things done. I'm Jennifer Branning, and I'm running for the Mississippi Supreme Court to do the same thing. I've written legislation to lower taxes and reduce regulations on farmers, manufacturers, and other businesses in Mississippi. On the Supreme Court, I'll use my experience and conservative values to always interpret the law, not to rewrite it or bend the rules for anyone.
Accidents happen. If a deer jumps out in front of your car, go see the professionals at Chet's Paint and Body. Chet can help you navigate through this confusing world of insurance by providing photo estimates to insurance companies and the right to choose the body shop of your choice. From a minor scratch to a major collision, Chet has you covered. Chet offers quality repairs by trained and certified technicians with a lifetime warranty on all repairs. That's Chet's Paint and Body Shop. Welcome back. As we get into today, let's get into that forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Those record highs, record lows, we go back to 1953. Anybody remember that date? It was 90 degrees today. Ain't ne'er one of us probably around that could remember this. 1891, a record low of 29 today. That was on the thermometer on that front porch. As we glance across 86 in Meridian, it'll stay the same as we go north through the little towns of Sugarlock and Wahala, and we finally end up in Columbus. Should be 86 there. Down from the Delta, 88, down to Natchez, about 85. As we go east into Bama, we see that we'll see 86 as well in Demopolis. Up in Birmingham, where the traffic gets really rough, somewhere around 83 there today. Over in Auburn, 83 in Montgomery, should be about the same here as well, 86. Nice weather there. Traffic getting bad in Montgomery as well. I don't think they know how to drive there either. I'm just going to stay over here. As we look at this forecast, yeah, that's true too. But at least we know how to motion people through a stop sign. Every now and then there's a little fender bender there. Warm weather, look at this, extremely hot. We'll put this at roughly down around Wayne County and go northward into Tennessee. Look how warm that is. That's how we're getting these 86-degree days. Way back out in California, we see a cool spell there. Now, this has changed. This is how this changes from 3:30 this morning to where we are now. The temperature's already changed for the day. When I put this together, it was a high expected of 84. Now we're at 86. Tomorrow, we're expecting it to be 87. And if you look across here, 0% chance for anything for a deer hunter. It ain't going to rain. 86, 87. We start seeing cooler weather by Monday with it dipping back down to about 80. Let's go another 7 days into the month, all the way to November the 6th. What do we see? 80-degree weather right up until about the 3rd. That's my anniversary. Y'all don't let me forget.
Oh, yeah.
I need to do something.
You still got the
Becky
card
was
from last
there. The car?
Card.
Oh boy, we don't need to talk about cards this morning. 70 through the 6th. That's nice weather. As we look at what's happening with the fishing today, as we go out to J&J Auto Sales, perfect time to fish started at 6:21 this morning. Should run until about 8:30 if you're a fisherman. We got another major time. It's going to be right at dusk dark. Go ahead and get there about 6, and you'll get a little bit in. Maybe you'll catch a bass or two. There should be good through about 9 o'clock if you fish after dark. Otherwise, calm wind becoming west around 5 in the afternoon. What's happening with the deer hunting? This is what we've got. Perfect time was this morning. It began at 5 o'clock. Good till about 7 this morning if you're out bow hunting. You're about to be able to see. It's going to break daylight in a minute. We do have another major time right at dusk dark. Be there by 5. It should get good right at dusk dark. Maybe it'll be your lucky day. Day rating is average sunrise at 7:05. Sunset begins at 6:12. Boy, I'm running out of time, aren't I? As we look at this, absolutely now, this is the first time in weeks I've been able to show you that the Hurricane Center is showing absolutely nothing. That's good. Wow. Let's take a quick look at radar before we take a break and come back with the morning show. Let's go over. I got a slide over. We talked a lot this morning. Here's radar this morning. We are showing fog out to our southwest as we pull up Honda Meridian radar. Look at that. Beaumont, Texas, all the way up to Lufkin, Texas. Home of Mike Mathis, as we all remember him, and Frog. Very foggy in his hometown. Down in Houma, Louisiana, we got fog as well. A little bit around Gadsden, Alabama, as we get up into the Chattanooga area. Knoxville, look at that. Got a little bit of fog there, so be careful in all those areas as you make your travels today across America. But again, I can't give you any rain. It's just not happening right now. We'll watch all this. Freddie, good morning. Good to see you. Stevie is there. Bob is just tweeting away this morning. Pat and Jim Coker, Mark. Good to see y'all. We've got the morning show going. We got a pot of coffee rolling. What are you reading over there on your phone? I see. She's all on this. We'll be right back as we get the morning show underway. Welcome. God bless, and we'll see you in just a moment with Scotty Ray Report.